woman stood before a sealed garden gate, pushing with all her might. Days passed. Her hands grew tired. Then one morning in stillness, she noticed the inscription carved into the stone. Pull gently. She stepped back, and with the softest touch, the gate opened inward. It was never locked, only misunderstood. Most doors don't respond to force, only to the energy of letting go. You've asked, you've tried, you've pushed with all your energy, and yet it hasn't arrived. What if the answer isn't more doing, but more allowing? In this video, we'll explore the hidden law that most never use, the spiritual truth that what you release returns faster than what you chase. This is the sacred art of letting go. Let go, and you don't lose the desire. You make space for it to arrive. A hand submerged in water cannot hold more until it opens. The tighter we grasp, the more we lose. And so, life responds not to our gripping, but to our release. This is the paradox. It is only when you let go that what you long for finds you. Not because you've stopped wanting, but because you've stopped blocking. Desire, when held too tightly, becomes resistance. It hums with urgency. It screams lack. And I tell you, this is not how creation flows. The universe does not respond to panic. It responds to presence. Letting go is not the end of desire. It is the purification of it, the moment it becomes ready. This is the silent doorway to receiving. Surrender. You do not manifest by force. You do not summon by noise. The great mystery of silent manifestation lives here, in the act of release. This is the heartbeat of the law of reversed effort. The more you try, the more you affirm separation. But the moment you cease striving, something shifts. You let go, and suddenly the path is clear. Not because the desire has left you, but because the struggle has. And so we now ask, if grasping delays, what happens when we hold on too long? A bird held too tightly forgets how to fly. And your desires, like wings, need space, not pressure, to take form. The tighter your emotional grip, the heavier the energy becomes. What you call devotion, the universe may read as fear. What you call focus may vibrate as mistrust. When you hold on too long, you stop sending a clear signal. You're no longer aligned with having. You're entangled with needing. This is how vibration frequency begins to distort. The desire becomes foggy, clouded with when, how, and why not yet. The universe, attuned to clarity, cannot respond to contradiction. Holding on creates inner noise. It tells the subconscious, I'm not sure it's coming. It shouts at the world, I need to control this. And that control, though well-meaning, becomes static in the current. You do not need to prove your readiness. You need only to relax into it. The world follows the soul that whispers, not the one that clings. This is why letting go is not laziness, it is spiritual precision. It is the quiet art of saying, I trust what I've asked for is already underway. That is surrender, and surrender is not escape. It is a signal. A lantern does not dim because the hand steps away. It shines because nothing blocks its glow. Letting go is not abandonment. It is clarity. It is the cleanest signal you can send to the universe. I already trust. Most mistake surrender for weakness, but in spiritual law, it is power in its purest form. Letting go is not giving up. It is giving over, returning the desire to the field from which it came. You are not walking away. You are stepping aside. In doing so, you allow the natural alignment to flow without interference. You are no longer trying to manage the outcome. You are becoming the outcome. This is how energetic alignment is confirmed, not through anxious checking or repeated rituals, but by your stillness, your certainty, your softness. Letting go does not cancel the desire. It completes the asking. It is not a shortcut. It is the final step most skip, because letting go is the signal. The universe hears it like a clear bell. This one is ready, and now the space is clear. But can you feel what you've been carrying? The weight of wanting itself. A bowl too full cannot receive more. Even the finest nectar spills over. Wanting, when unchecked, becomes a weight. It bends your posture, narrows your vision, and quietly tells the universe, I am not yet whole. What begins as a spark of longing when held too long becomes a burden on the soul. You may not see it, but your energy remembers. The constant emotional rehearsal of not yet begins to compress your field. You tighten, you strive, you loop, but this tension, this inner grasp, disrupts your ability to receive. You are vibrating with effort, not embodiment. The stream cannot flow through clenched hands. The true secret of surrender frequency is this: relief is a magnet, ease is attraction. When you feel light, not from pretending, but from finally exhaling, you return to your natural state of allowing. You create room. You create openness. You create the conditions that abundance recognizes. And so we come to the breath, the one thing always with you, the sacred metaphor hiding in plain sight, the moment of the exhale, the moment between the breath in and the breath out, is where life begins again. Inhale is desire. Exhale is surrender. And the exhale, that sacred release, is where manifestation finds its space. It is not loud. It is not forced. It is the softest yes the body can give. When you hold your breath, you freeze the flow. You tighten your presence. But when you exhale fully, in trust, in peace, you let the universe know, I am ready. That single gesture mirrors the exact process of letting go. The breath teaches what words cannot. Stillness is receptive. Relaxation is creative. Most try to manifest on the inhale, grasping, scripting, intending. But creation completes on the out-breath. That is the moment of silent manifestation, not when you speak it, not when you ask again, but when you trust so deeply that you release the need to do anything at all. And in that moment, that calm, open space, you will begin to understand a higher truth. That true receiving is not passive avoidance. It is sacred power. A sailboat does not chase the wind. It catches it. Receiving is not weakness. It is alignment. It is the quiet strength of becoming so available, so open, that what you once chased now finds its way to you. Not because you reached, but because you were ready to receive without noise. In this stillness, the energy changes. You are no longer trying to summon the thing. You are vibrating as if it has already arrived. This is what makes receiving magnetic, not your actions, but your vibration frequency. When you rest in the feeling of already, reality conforms to your stillness, not to effort, but to essence. True receiving does not beg. It does not broadcast lack. It does not repeat what it already knows is done. It waits, not from need, but from embodiment. This is passive power, the kind that pulls, not pushes, the kind that whispers, I am, and watches the world answer. And so the question becomes, how do you align with what is already yours? You let go, not to run, but to match it. This is surrender, not as absence, but as energetic alignment. A river does not ask where it flows. It simply moves where it belongs. Surrender is not stillness without purpose. It is alignment in motion. It is the sacred agreement between your inner world and the outcome you've already claimed. You are not waiting for it. You are becoming it. That is surrender's true power. When you let go, you do not release the desire. You release the resistance, the pushing, the checking, the grasping. What remains is pure signal. You enter vibrational harmony, not by rehearsing the wish, but by relaxing into the identity of the one who already has. You've shifted from effort to being. This is the mark of energetic alignment. It's here that silent manifestation becomes effortless. You are not correcting the outside. You are remembering your position within. The field around you responds instantly, not because you tried harder, but because you are now in agreement. You feel it, you breathe it, you walk in it. That is alignment. But surrender must be honest. It must be full. And often what we call surrender is just quiet resistance. So the next step is subtle but vital, letting go without pushing away. A door does not slam shut in trust. It opens slightly and waits. Letting go is not the same as rejecting. It is not a denial of desire. It is an invitation made with open hands. But many, in their attempt to surrender, unconsciously push away what they want. Out of fear, out of frustration, out of fatigue. You are not meant to abandon the desire. You are meant to soften your grip around it. Pushing away says, I can't have this. Letting go says, I trust this. Can you feel the difference? One tightens, the other expands. This is the quiet art of emotional posture, surrender without suppression. When you suppress, you disconnect from the desire's vibration. You reject its presence instead of embracing it in silence. But when you release with reverence, without denying its place in your heart, you keep the channel open. You remain aligned with its fulfillment, even in your stillness. That is balance. That is grace. So surrender, but stay open. Let go, but remain receptive. You are not turning your back. You are turning within. And in that inner quiet, your final and clearest signal begins to rise. A temple bell makes no sound, yet you feel its presence in the still air. So it is with your energy. The world does not respond to your words alone. It listens beneath the surface, to the quiet knowing, the unspoken certainty, the sacred hush that follows true surrender. This silence is not empty, it is full. When you no longer beg, no longer chase, no longer explain, your vibration becomes unmistakable. You are the one who trusts, and that trust is louder than any technique. The universe does not follow instructions. It follows frequency, and silence is the clearest signal of all. This is why, at the height of manifestation, you are often drawn into stillness. Not because nothing is happening, but because everything is. Your inner world is speaking in codes the outer world can't ignore. That is the mystery of surrender frequency. What you do not say creates just as powerfully. So pause. Breathe. Let your silence carry what your voice cannot. The signal has been sent. The field is listening. You have done enough. And now in this stillness, something begins to move. Are you still trying to force the gate open when all it's ever needed was your soft surrender? What have you been holding too tightly? And how would it feel to let go, not in defeat, but in trust? What if your silence has been the signal all along? Share what you're letting go of in the comments. And if this message met you at just the right moment, like the video, subscribe and tap the bell, so we can keep walking this quiet path together.